What is up, guys, and welcome back to the doghouse. I don't know where to start. I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet. There we go. Got this bad boy. So we got a review on the Nvidia 5080. I'll start right here. The greed. The greed is getting me, man. But I'm the type of person I always upgrade graphics cards. They're greedy, and I gave them exactly what they wanted. First off, I upgraded from a 5070 Ti. I went from a 4070 Ti Super to a 5070 Ti. And then I upgraded from a 5070 Ti to a 5080. So I'm giving Nvidia exactly what they want. I wish I could stop, but that's just how I am specifically. I'm a tech man. Like I love technology. I like to see when something, like, for example, I'm trying to hold this 5080 until the 6090 comes out, and I'm just gonna make like a monster, like a 5 or 6K build, 6090 PC, and hopefully I can have that for, hopefully it's super proof. And that's one of the bullet points I'm gonna touch on today with the 5080. So the greed, back to the greed. I Nvidia is so greedy, and it's literally like from the 4070 Ti Super to the 5070 Ti. I'm sorry guys if you can hear like the squealing in the back. I got 9 puppies right here, right next to me, literally under this infrared light I'm watching. So my apologies again for that. But the greed, giving us 16 gigabytes in a $1,000 card will upset people who pay attention to things like that. Some people don't pay attention to things like that because they'll get like a 2080 or a 3090, and they'll have it for so long that when it's time to upgrade, they just simply upgrade with no issues. But people like me who upgrade, maybe if not every year, every other year, I pay attention to things like that. So number one, the thing with the greed, I used to be a console player, and PlayStation, like charging when they first came out with the PS5, I remember having a PS5 Pro and then buying a PS5 and then like having to pay the PS5 upgrade to Horizon Zero Dawn when I had already had the PS5 Pro or the PS4 Pro version. Now they're trying to make me upgrade to the PS5 version. What is the difference? Like, why am I paying for that? Number one, I've already bought the game. And then I have to buy the game again on PS5. It just didn't make sense to me. And that's why originally, like, I didn't have no issue being like a strictly a PC player only. And then you got Xbox, who just literally waved the white flag, put all their games on, or gonna put most of their games on PlayStation, but where's God of War for Xbox? So Xbox has no backbone. PlayStation is greedy. And so I went to PC, but it seems like I'm dealing with the same thing with PC, and I'm not complaining at all. Like, I'm trying to help you guys see the problem as well, which I know y'all see the problem. I see the problem. The problem is an elephant in the room. Anybody could see the elephant. It's huge. And the room is 2x2. Yeah, the elephant doesn't even fit. So with the 50 series cards, I think the 5070 Ti is probably the better value, which is why I had the 5070 Ti at first. And that's because I used to game. I think 1440p is the sweet spot, and I used to game at 1440p. I actually have bought the KTC 27 MPS or MP27 or something like that. It's a 4K mini LED dual. It's a dual mode monitor, so it got like 1080p 360 hertz and then 4K 160 hertz. I'll be doing a review on that when it get here Thursday as well. So I'm moving to 4K. Kind of gonna be gaming at 4K from here on out. So I kind of felt the need to get away from the 5070 Ti as soon as I could, as soon as I realized that I wasn't gonna be playing at 1440p no more. Even though I've had the 5080 hooked up to a 1440p PG27 AQDM 1440p OLED monitor. So I was playing on 1440p with the 5080 as well. The thing is, and I'll make a video on this as well, why I swapped from 1440p OLED to 4K mini LED. I'll make a video on that as well. But I just felt that guys, I love OLED. I love OLED. Whatever they say, that it makes it hard for you to buy a whole new monitor after you've had OLED. I agree to a certain extent, but 1440p is a little different. I felt the monitor that I had came from had a pretty high peak brightness, had a nice HDR contrast, although it wasn't OLED HDR. But when I play games like Cyberpunk, while I would notice a difference, I noticed that I noticed it more when I was playing on 4K than when I was playing 1440p OLED, if that makes sense. So while I enjoy playing at 1440p, pat tracing, ultra'd out, I realized that I could do the same on the 5080 if I touch a few settings. And so that's what I'm gonna be doing, playing at 4K now from here on out. So that's why I left 1440p alone. And also the monitor that I got when I play FPS, like the competitive shooters, 1080p 360 hertz mode. So I feel like I got two monitors in one. That's another reason why I let the OLED go. But that's another video for a different day. And also, I'm gonna pin the when I had the 5070 Ti, I was making videos on that. I paired the 5070 Ti with a i9 12900K. The 5080 I have paired right now with an i7 14700K. Also, another reason why I think Nvidia is really greedy is they gave us 16 gigs and $1,000 graphics card when there are $300-$400 graphics cards from competitors that have 16 gigs or 20 gigs, so, or 18 gigs. I felt like they could have at least put 18 gigs in the 4080, I mean the 5080, especially if the 5070 Ti already has 16 gigs as well. You could have gave the 5080 18 gigs, but instead what they did was gave both those cards 16 gigs so that they could later put 24 gigs in the super versions of those cards that are coming up. It's greed. That is greed. To the highest power, that is greed. Not only are the upgrades not as marginal as they used to be from graphics card to graphics card with Nvidia, now they're chopping down the VRAM too. That's greed. That is as greedy as it gets, guys. I also think PC gaming has kind of hit a wall, and that's also why upgrades from graphics card to graphics card isn't as marginal, because technology is kind of slowing down a little bit. I think it'll speed up again eventually, but right now it's just not there. 4080 Super is literally almost comparable to the 5080. That's why the 4080 Super is beating out the 5070 Ti in some tests. And that's because PC gaming has hit a wall. For example, the 3090 to the 4080. That's marginal. That's what you call marginal. But I don't think we're gonna be getting that anytime soon. Maybe in the next 3 years we'll get that again, but I don't think it'll be like that again, especially with how close these graphics cards are. The 5070 Ti, I believe, is only 12 to 13% slower than the 5080. That's called great value for $750 to me. I also think that the 5080 card is not super proof with the 16 gigabytes. That's why in about 2 to 3 years, I'll be gaming on a 6090. I'll be upgrading. Maybe next year I'll upgrade. Who knows? But the consoles, with Xbox saying that their next gen console is going to be between 1,000 and 1,500. Rumors that I've heard about the PS6 with the A&D hardware that it's going to have, I definitely think that with the 5080, yeah, I just don't think it's super proof, giving us 16 gigs in these games like Indiana Jones. Yeah, I just think 16 gigabytes of VRAM the more I think about it, 3 years from down the line, 2-3 years from now, it's definitely gonna be struggle bus. You're gonna be struggle bus with 16 gigabytes of VRAM. In all honesty, what I truly think about the 5080 is, while I acknowledge that I like it, I'll be honest and say that I think most people would be just fine with a 5070. And I think that a 5070 Ti is the best value for all the 50 series cards. I think that most people with the 5070 Ti, most gamers, like casual gamers who would have a 5070 Ti, I think maybe you're future proof. I think maybe you're good for the next 3 to 4 to 5 years, because you're still going to be playing on 1440p with that 5070 Ti. That's what most gamers are going to still be playing at. People like me who want the latest and greatest hardware, which the 5080 is by far not the latest and greatest hardware. I'll be the first to admit that. But I do love my card. I don't want to make it seem like I'm just punching down on my card. I do love my card. I just acknowledge that there is more wrong about this card than there is right. And I acknowledge that. It's cool. Nvidia, you got me again. You did it with the 4070 Ti Super when I got the 5070 Ti, and you did it again with the 5080 when I got that, when I upgraded from the 5070 Ti. So, but I do help. When I sold the 5070 Ti, it was for $650, like $150 under the MSRP. I do help out. I do like blessing people. when I do make my upgrades. The i9, I sold that for like $100, $150, something like that. So I do like helping out. But I just think that one of the reasons that I got the 5080 was to play at 4K for the time being. And also because this is gonna be my first time playing at 4K with my setup. It's usually I've been on other people's setups and seeing like, damn, 4K is really not as bad as I thought it would be. Because 4K is obviously not the sweet spot. It obviously takes a lot of bandwidth to run 4K. Most people don't got the internet to stream 4K. I'm blessed, I do. So I'm going to. But there is something with the type of gamer that I am that the 4K just bounced off my eyes a lot smoother than 1440p OLED. Now, when I upgrade to 4K OLED, probably when I get a 6090, I'm in no hurry to get another OLED monitor. Not that I don't like OLED monitors. I'm kind of on the side of mini LED. And I also think that when micro LED come out, it's gonna shut the entire game down. But that's conversation for a different video. I know I keep getting on monitors. I really want to talk monitors, but that's another video for when it get here on Thursday. But that was all I wanted to say, guys. That was me talking about the 5080 and how adequate it is. And it just didn't, it's a great card if you can get it under $1,000. But it's diminishing returns. It really is when you can get a 5070 Ti that I've seen a lot of those for around MSRP. I haven't really been looking at 5080s and nothing like that, but for some reason 5070 Ti's pop up a lot. I've seen a lot of those at MSRP. I think most gamers who game at 1440p, you get you a 5070 Ti and chill out for the next 4 to 5 years, bro. Like that's literally what I would do. Maybe I'll get the 5080 Super with 24 gigs and maybe I'll sit down for the next 4 to 5 years. Maybe that's what I'll do. I can see myself doing that, but I also want a 90s card. I want a 90s series card. So I can see myself getting a 6090 too, especially if I be patient and just save up money for the next, 2 years it'll take for the 90 to come out? Yeah, next 2 years, I'm definitely gonna get that. I'm definitely gonna have a PC built around that for sure, and that'll be where I probably sit down for the next 4 to 5 years. But if I get the 5080 Super, I'll do a video, obviously. You guys will know. And then I promise, if I get the 5080 Super, I want to make a promise to y'all. I promise that if I get the 5080 Super, I'll sit down for about 4 to 5 years, because I mean, as PC gamers, we all just want to buy something and feel good about what we bought and have the longevity and the confidence in the longevity of what we bought. We don't want to buy OLEDs that are $1,200 that last 6 months and then you get burned in. I'm not saying every OLED is going to get burned in every 6 months. I know burn in is rare. I know dead pixels are rare. But the point is, you spending $1,200 and still risking that chance. Why the hell are OLED monitors $1,200 but the risk of burning or dead pixels are alive and well? It's another reason I want that mini LED side. But we all just want to be confident in what we bought. That's it. And that's all I want to talk about today was give the, and you know what? I'll give the 5080 a rating as well. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 because that's what I think it is. 7 out of 10. I think it's slightly above average. Slightly above average in value and slightly above average in comparison to the predecessors, to the 5080, 4080 Super and things like that. So that's all I want to talk about, guys. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what graphics card you got. I would love to know what graphics card you guys got. What CPU? Tell me some builds, man. I'll start it off. My build is a 5080 with a i7-14700K processor. But yeah, let me know what y'all got, man. Comment down below also what you think about the 5080. Comment down below what you think about Nvidia. Comment down below what you think about AMD as well, because I heard they coming out with some muscle. But I love you guys, man. I thank you guys for tuning in tonight or in the morning, whenever you're watching this video. And the most important thing that I can tell y'all besides praying, use them turn signals.